Andrew Luck is gone. There goes our hero.
There goes our hero.
He's gone.
Welcome to an Earful of BJ 2019 and 20 season, episode 1.
First season, first show of the season. Pretty
Yes.
exciting. Foch, I'm just going to read. I wrote something about Andrew Luck. I'm going to read it. It might take a few minutes here.
That's fine.
It's a little bit long, but I'm going to read it. Andrew Luck was special. By all accounts, the kind of man you want to be the face of your franchise. Humble, kind, extremely intelligent, and outrageously talented. Weird? Yeah. But Andrew Luck was special.
Goofy?
An architect by trade and a competitor by nature, the only man in NFL history that would genuinely congratulate an opponent for pulverizing him into the ground that would eventually end his career. Torn cartilage in his ribs, lacerated kidney that left him urinating blood, concussion, torn shoulder labrum, and a mysterious calf injury that would ultimately prove to be too much for him to overcome. But Andrew Luck was anything but injury-prone. He's been hit 60 times more than any QB since 2012, and don't forget he sat out a whole season in 2017. He played nearly all of his career with an incompetent O-line, 0 playmakers not named T.Y. Hilton, laughable coaching staff, and a complete buffoon of a GM.
Yeah, it's all thanks to him.
Mm-hmm.
It all boils down to him. What an idiot.
But somehow we were always competitive when he was under center. Andrew Luck was special. This was a man that never longed for fame or money. I mean, he uses a flip phone for crying out loud. He could have been the number 1 pick in the draft earlier, but decided to stay in college on a $0 a year salary. His first year in the NFL, he declined all endorsements so he could solely focus on the playbook, while virtually all of the rookies signed as many deals to maximize profits.
Mm-hmm.
He left the country for months 2 years ago to rehab just so he wouldn't be a distraction for the team. Luck was the kind of player and person you just couldn't root against. Very courteous in interviews and always shouldered the blame after losses when it clearly wasn't even his fault. Andrew Luck was special. He was booed upon leaving Lucas Oil for the final time after the news of his retirement leaked to the press. While I wouldn't have partaken, I do understand the high emotions of fandom. The hopes of a world championship rode on his right arm had just vanished. He was hurt, and we saw a mentally broken human after later that night at his retirement press conference. As he stood there fighting back tears, you couldn't help but observe someone who was mentally injured. Like when Peyton Manning retired, he shed tears, but you really did feel good for him. Andrew just looked broken. I truly believe Andrew is dealing with a lot of anxiety and most likely depression. Unfortunately, the only way for him to heal is to leave the game he loves. I just couldn't believe he called it quits because of a calf sprain. And I still don't. He was mentally exhausted. His threshold for pain in 2012 through 2016 was basically limitless. But after the shoulder ordeal, he promised himself he wouldn't play hurt again. Andrew Luck was special. In 2012, he was drafted. I envisioned watching him be around long enough that I would sit in front of the TV with my kids and watch him play, the same as I did with my father. The asterisk of what could have been will always be attached to his career. What if Ryan Grigson had even a clue of how to be a GM? What if Chuck Pagano knew anything about offense? What if Frank Reich and Chris Ballard would have been there for his whole career? What if he wouldn't have retired right after winning Comeback Player of the Year? I hurt for Andrew, and I hurt for Colt fans everywhere. But the story will go on, and it will be authored by Jacoby Brissett in 2019. Who knows what the future will hold for the Colts, but we will always look back and know that Andrew Luck was special. I think that's a fitting, touching little thing, and I think it's true about him. It's a shame he's gone, but I think it's the only way for him to go forward.
Yeah. Who wrote that?
I did. So, Yeah, a little something I wrote when I was at work. Kind of bored. But all right. So speaking of going forward, Fosh, let's look. I thought the draft went really well. Don't you?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was like unlike last year, it was a total disaster. Nightmare.
Right.
Yeah, this is probably in my mind easily the smoothest draft we've ever had.
Oh yeah. It was enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, we were at Anthony's house with Tyler and us two, and we had a good time.
We had one person asking to stop it, but, it's like...
You can't do that.
You can't do that,
Nope.
guys. And everybody knows when it is. You should check your stuff prior
Get it
and have it all ready. No excuses.
All right, Fosh.
Sorry.
So we're logged on to my my fantasy football here.
Yep.
So we're going to start with my team, and I'm playing Jake. So we'll go from me to Jake. My team I thought was pretty good. I walked away with the third pick, so I had Christian McCaffrey, guy I really wanted. But I feel good about my team. My wide receivers are probably the weaker point. Brandon Cooks is solid. Christian Kirk's got potential. But I do like my team for the most part. Jake, he too has a good team. I think everyone kind of questioned the James White pick. In the second round, I think it was, we thought that might have been a little early. But, looking at his team, he's strong. And Michael Thomas at wide receiver is going to be solid for him.
Oh, yeah.
Very solid. So, I think he's got a good shot.
Looks pretty good.
Now, Ethan has the most interesting team that I've ever seen. I don't know why he didn't draft. I think he was at a lake. I don't know what they were doing, family stuff. So I guess he didn't draft. But look at this. Ezekiel Elliott, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette. Are you kidding me?
Jeez.
Those
all on
three?
auto draft?
Yeah, but the problem is, and he's got A.J. Green. The problem is, Zeke, well, he just signed a big 6-year, $90 million contract. That's a record for running backs, just so you all know. But Melvin Gordon, I'm telling you, it doesn't look like he might play this year. I don't think he does. And that's going to hurt Ethan big time. He might pull off a Le'Veon Bell. And A.J. Green's hurt for probably at least 6 to 8 weeks, I would imagine.
Yep.
So Ethan's got the chance to be easily the best team in the league or the worst. And then he's playing his brother, which is the game of the week. Ethan and Eric. How could you not?
Yeah.
How can that not be the game of the week?
Game of the week.
Yeah, Eric's got some good wide receivers. I don't know how he walked away with both of those guys, Evans and Adams.
Now, did he draft?
Yeah, Eric did draft.
Okay.
As far as I know. And Eric's got a good team, too. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take Eric. Fosh, who you got?
I'm going to go with Ethan.
Okay. And then Clay. Clay had an interesting strategy. Fosh, round 2, he takes Drew Brees.
Oh, boy.
Guess what he does in round 3? He takes Aaron
Rodgers.
So he's got 2 quarterbacks and he can't start. That was a lot of draft capital.
Wow.
So I think the thinking is he might be able to use one of them as trade bait, but with the way we don't put quarterbacks at a premium anymore,
Nope.
I'm worried he's not going to get a value out of him. But we'll see. He's got a good team for using a second and a third on quarterbacks.
Hill, Landry. Oh, yeah.
And this other team looks like Mark. Mark, put your name behind your team, or else we don't know who you are.
We say it every year, guys. Come on.
He's got Deshaun Watson. I really like Deshaun. I think he's finished like 1, 2, or something like that in fantasy points. No, it's the last 2 years, I think, in the top 5 or something in quarterback fantasy points. He's been incredible. It looks like he's got 2 different oh my gosh. Never mind. He's got Devin Funchess, Eric Ebron, and Nyheim Hines. That's 3 Indies players. Putting a lot of hope in them.
Yeah.
And then we're going to look at Cody. Cody's got a good little team here. He's got potential. Russell Wilson, who's a solid fantasy QB. David Johnson, who I think is going to have a big year.
Oh, yeah.
Big bounce back. And Deshaun Jackson, if he's going to be healthy, I like that he's without, or he's back to the Eagles, but he's without limitations in practice.
Yep.
And he's
just
playing
a finger injury, right?
Yeah. He's playing Chris. Chris, got the wide receiver stacked up, that's for sure. He's got Brown and Beckham, but I'm not so sold on Brown. I think that guy's got more drama than any 10 human beings I could mix and compound together.
Mr. D.
Oh, my gosh. Maybe if we have time, we'll get into him in a bit.
All right.
He's a weird
man.
dude. And then Trent. Okay, I don't know who HP Lovercraft is, but I'm not going to talk about your team. I have no idea who you are. But Trent, you need to put your name behind it. You know, I understand people are trying to make a point now not to put their names behind it, but I don't understand what value you get in doing that. Like, what is so funny about that? I mean, we're trying to make a podcast here, guys, and we don't even know who you are.
Right.
Like, just put your name behind it.
We don't talk about their team then. How's that?
That's good. Trent, the only reason I can see him is his name's on the side of his profile. Mm-hmm. He's got Lamar Jackson, which that dude's got legs. I'm telling you. And then Julio Jones.
Dwayne Henry.
What do you? Oh, what's it? Derrick Henry?
Derrick, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good chance here too.
Yep.
I like the way he finished last year. It looked really good.
I had him a few times.
Yeah, and you dropped him right before he got good.
Yeah, that's my luck, you know.
Colin, need your name behind it. He got Trubisky. I feel like he had Trubisky last year and the year before. Maybe just once, but Trubisky just seems like a Colin quarterback, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's the quarterback Colin has to have.
Yeah.
Maybe
Good
I'm
fit.
wrong. It just feels like a Colin type player.
Yeah.
And Juju Smith-Schuster, O.J. Howard. Yeah, I kind of like what Colin's got going on here.
Good team.
And then Jay, who's new to the league, that I believe is Clay's grandfather.
All right.
He's got Baker Mayfield, who's got a lot of hype. He's got Josh Gordon, Shoney Michel. He's got some potential here for his first year in the league. He's got 3 different New England players, so I guess that's not a bad team to hitch your wagon to.
Nope.
He's got Giovanni Bernard on the bench, who just got a new contract. Fires, you got a nice team.
Yeah, it's
I'm saying that about everyone, but it's so early that
it's hard
I've
to
got
tell.
myself in pinches before by giving people grades or numerical value, and I'm not doing that anymore because
at least not yet.
You're always wrong. You just can't predict this stuff.
No way.
Okay, so if I was just picking at 15, right, and he decides he's gonna get Chubb, and kind of everyone in our room's like, you want Chubb when Connor's on the board? Like, nothing against Chubb. He was solid. But, Kareem Hunt's going to be coming. They're going to be fighting for carries. They got new wide receivers. They may be throwing it a lot.
Right.
Not like I said, Chubb's I would love to have him. But we all kind of maybe influenced him to take Connor, and he did. The second round comes, and you get Chubb too.
Yeah.
So what a great value there.
It was planned.
Because they're both
not
easily projected in the top 10 running backs. So you got some good value there.
I hope so.
Tyler gets Tom Brady.
Yep.
Later in the draft. And Le'Veon Bell. He's got Tyler Lockett, who is a very underrated wide receiver, and Aaron Jones. He's got some potential. And he's got Hunt on the bench. Tyler's got some potential here, guys. Maybe he'll finally live up to all that bragging he had early on.
I remember that.
Let's see who we got next. The iPad is not cooperating. Just 1 second here. Fudge, you guys need to get better Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I say this all the time.
Brand new. It's Apple product.
I didn't know Apple made Wi-Fi.
It's a product. I didn't say the...
Apple make...
Yeah.
Oh, you mean router.
Router, right.
Okay, Anthony. He took Mahomes second overall. We knew Mahomes was going to go in the top 5. I mean, there was no question.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question. He makes it past the first round, or past the first pick, and goes to Anthony. Anthony's got Julian Edelman and Carson, what's his name? What the heck is his first name? Chris Carson, yeah.
Chris.
But I like those 3 guys. Other than that, Anthony's going to have to prove it a little to me here. Going to have to prove it. He really hitched his wagon to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, that is an offense that you want to get on board with.
Oh, yeah. What's going to happen on their bye?
Yeah. Hope you got a good bench.
Yeah. That's what I always watch out for. I look at the bye.
Logan, Derek Carr, Saquon Barkley, first-round pick, first overall at that. And T.Y. Hilton. A lot of people aren't. Oh, my gosh. It looks like Logan put Sanders in. Uh-oh, Fosh, we are running out of time, and we got
You're
2 more
kidding.
teams.
Oh, no.
We'll come back with these guys next week, all right?
Yes.
We'll get back with you.
Have a good one.